Hello everyone, and welcome back to TerraFirmaCraft. So I'm recording this just after the previous one, and I thought of another story I wanted to tell. So this is, again, from my Scytell days. This is kind of a testament to the wonderfulness of HP software development. This guy, he had... I think he had Windows XP. I don't know if it really matters that much. I don't think it matters to you guys at all. But he wanted to... No, he had Vista. He was a guy with Vista. And this was what caused all of this hoopla. He had Windows Vista, and when he bought the printer, he was told, hey, this printer is compatible with Vista. Because HP decided, hey, it's a great idea to advertise this printer as being compatible with Vista. We don't have Vista drivers out. We don't even have them announced. Our support guys don't know when they're coming out. Our support guys don't know when they're coming out. So let's obviously advertise that this is good to go. Makes sense. So this guy called in, and he was the nicest guy I have ever talked to. This guy, he was always super polite to me in all the times we had spoken, which was a lot, but he was frustrated. Very, very frustrated. Because he bought this printer with full knowledge that it was going to work on his operating system. Seems simple enough. He installed it, and it didn't work. Go figure. So, he had called in, I think, 4 times before he got me. Itchy nose. And nobody could get him working. And so he couldn't print, he couldn't scan. This was a multifunction device. He couldn't do shit. He could copy. Yay. He can photocopy on a machine that doesn't need a computer to photocopy. He wanted this thing to function 100% of what it is advertised. And I respected him for that, because that's what he paid for. These printers, I don't know if they still have it, but they had this feature called the HP Toolbox, which was a web-based feature. Essentially what it did was installed a mini web server on your computer that interfaced with the printer. It used Apache Tomcat, which I'm pretty sure is irrelevant, but don't take this as a negative to Apache or Apache Tomcat. This is just their system. It was shit. But that wasn't the part that he wanted working. He wanted to be able to print. He wanted to be able to scan. He wanted to be able to use, what was it? I think it's called the last revision of it was called HP Director, but on this printer it was called something different. I can't remember what it was, but kind of irrelevant. So he wanted this to work, and it didn't. So he kept calling in and just getting shit on. Nobody was doing really anything. They would just basically get him off the phone, which is not cool. This is a guy who genuinely needs help, and he was very nice about it. So we had a little bit of freedom there. That's something I can say about Scytell that we didn't have at my government call center job, but we won't get into that. So we had the ability to call people back. we were only supposed to call them back in the afternoons when it wasn't super busy. This was kind of at a time when we had queues of around 500 to 600 people. At one point, like when I first started, like my first day out on the floor, I think there was a queue of 1,200. That is fucking insane. We had, I think, 100 agents to deal with this, like on the phone at any given time. And they were constantly hiring more because they needed more. But it was brutal and very, very scary. This was my first foray into call centers. I was never very big on the phone. I don't care for the phone, to be honest. But whatever. I did it. I was at a point in my life where I needed to. I am getting off track again. So anyway. So this guy called in, and he was nice, but, you know, frustrated. So I did what I could. And like, I told him, I see that they've done this, but do you mind if we do this again? No, I've done this like 10 times. And we went through and we did all sorts of different things. We got, in order, the primary troubleshooting for this was to completely uninstall and reinstall the software. A complete uninstall and reinstall of the software could take upwards of 8 hours. I am not even kidding. We had special tools that were publicly available, but they weren't, you had to search for them by name. So you had to know they existed to find them, which is a little weird. So we had to use that tool, which completely ripped out everything that involved the printer after uninstalling it. It was brutal. And of course, we couldn't remote into their computers. There was no remote feature. That was implemented probably about 2 years after I left, I guess. I'm just guessing because I don't know. It was probably implemented before then, but I think 2 years after I left, I had to call HP and they had that ability. But this went on for about a month, where 2 to 3 times a week I would call him. And we would spend the entire day trying to figure this out. And each time, we pretty much went through the same procedure every time. Like, there were certain things we weren't allowed to do, and we weren't allowed to advise them to do. Like, we couldn't advise to reinstall Windows. Sometimes we would gently hint at that, because this was very dependent on Java. This was very dependent on the .NET framework. It was very dependent on about 1.5 billion other things. And essentially, if one registry key was mucked up, this wasn't going anywhere. It was just fucked. And we knew this. HP knew this. We had patches and hot fixes and everything all over the place. But one thing that I always made sure that I did with this guy is I made damn sure that by the end of the day, when we were done mucking around and getting nowhere, he could print. I do not know how he managed to be able to take that much time to spend on this, but I do appreciate what he had done and how he had waited and how he was very, very patient about it. I really, really appreciated that of him. And I let him know that. This is all limestone. Where the hell did I get the quartzite? Anyway, so I really appreciated that of him. He was a really nice guy, but it took forever. Like, we were uninstalling Java, wiping Java, resetting all the settings that we could. Anything that could be affected. I can't remember what we actually ended up doing to fix it, but it was weird. Really weird software. Like, sometimes you'd have to uninstall and reinstall Java 4, 5, 8 times. And it would work, finally. I don't know why. Like, I think if I looked at it now, I've had a lot more experience with it now. In troubleshooting Java-related issues. So I might be able to figure it out better. But the fact is, nobody could figure it out. Whether the HP guys could figure it out or not, that's yet to be seen. But they sure as shit didn't help. They didn't seem to actually give a fuck. This is diorite. I'm looking for the quartzite. And I don't remember where it is. So, yeah, we spent so much time on that. But it was a great feeling when we finally got it to work. Oh my god. Like, he literally jumped for joy. We were great. we were so damn happy. This is all nice. All diorite. Yeah, that one was the toughest. But also one of the better. Like, he was very nice. And that is what I like. I really enjoy helping people. I really do. But ultimately, if people are rude, you don't want to help them. If you feel shit on by the place you work, and the people that are supposed to be supporting you, you don't want to help them. No. You feel run down and dead inside. And that's kind of what happened with me, is I didn't want to deal with that shit anymore. I couldn't deal with management's lack of fuck. And that's really all it is they just did not give a fuck. And whether it was management, upper management, or a different department, who knows? I don't know. But, one other time, this will be the last thing I babble on about. I don't know how long I've babbled on here, but I think my stories might be getting boring. I'll shut up and wait for you guys to let me know what you guys think of my ramblings. Quartzite. Hey, up. Up. Anyway. So, my first call while I was at Scitel, we had our training. It was like a week of training. And then we did kind of a half day, I guess. It was just a couple hours, actually on the phones. And we had mentors everywhere. It was great fun. And by great fun, I mean totally nerve-wracking and frightening. But we had all the help we could need. We weren't in the primary queues. We were just in very minor queues. Or so they said. I actually don't think they really had any queues. They had the queue for this printer, that was it. But, whatever. So, first call I got I do my little opening blurb, and yeah, I'm going to need to talk to your manager. No offense, but I've been through this for weeks, and you can't help me. And I'm like, oh, wonderful. Is this guy going to yell at me? Am I going to get shit all over? So, me being me, I had to figure out what the problem was. So I asked very nicely, well, I need to know what the issue is to bring to my manager. Can you please just let me know? I'm going to read over the ticket here that I've got for you. Like, first thing I asked him was for the ticket number, of course. So as he was explaining it to me and I'm reading over the ticket, he had dealt with like 7 or 8 different people. And I can't remember what the issue was, but I remember it was a very, very minor issue. Like, it was like, go in and tick this checkbox type issue. And there was no reason why someone else couldn't have figured that out. Except either they didn't give a fuck, which happens a lot in call centers. People just feel downtrodden, so they just stop caring altogether. It's just, meh. You guys, people that call in are meaningless. Which I've never been able to do that. I've actually tried to stop caring about people that call in, but I can't. I can't physically do it. So, I ended up fixing this guy's problem, and he actually asked for how to contact my manager so that he could send a kudos. So that was kind of a boon for me. That was great, because getting them to send your manager an email or talk to your manager and say, hey, this guy is great. That's kind of how you get promoted in call centers. Mind you, I never got promoted. Wasn't there long enough. But whatever. Didn't even get a 3-month review because my manager was fucking lazy. And every time I asked him about it, every goddamn time, oh, I'm working on this. Oh, I'm working on this. I'm working on this. Yeah, I even got written up once for not selling warranties. I ask, hey, do you want the warranty? I didn't ask like that, but essentially it was, hey, do you want the warranty? And they were, no, not really. I'm like, cool, okay. But you gotta ask 3 times. It's fucking 3-time bullshit rule. Hey, I know you're really pissed off that your printer's not working, but did you want to spend more money on the printer that doesn't work? Yeah, that's great. Excellent customer service there. But that's not the call center's fault. That is HP. But anyway, as I said, I rambled on long enough. I will end it here. I know it's been a very exciting video, but I hope my story was good. Let me know. Let me know what you guys think of the stories. Let me know what you think of my call center days. Tell me about, if you guys have any similar stories, any war stories about, working in a call center or any job, really. Anything, really. I don't care. Just tell me about things that piss you off. I'm good with that. Anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you've enjoyed. You guys have a great day. Take care.